Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning everyone.
Good morning, sir.
How are you today?
Thank you. And you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Thank you for asking me. This is 11.8, right?
Yes.
Where's your presensi absen? Barcode-nya mana? Tolong kalau gunanya itu jangan tunjuk dari jauh. Oh, Mister ada linknya dia, that's okay. Siapa yang ada yang hadir nggak hari ini?
There's two people.
Two people. There are two people.
Abimayu and Rati.
Wait. 11.8, right? Kenapa mereka?
They are too sick.
Both of them sick.
Yes.
Abimayu. Wait, nama depan Abimayu. Kalau Abimayu Hayuni Rati. Oke. Satu lagi?
Rati.
Rati juga Anjayani Maulida.
Yes.
Oke. Sip. Dua orang ya. Dasar Pauli. Presentasi sudah siap. Is anybody remember what we learned about last week? Minggu kemarin kita belajar apa? Descriptive text ya. Kita ngapain aja kemarin? Descriptive text, tapi ngapain nih? Performance, speaking performance. Udah semua? Udah aman semua? Insyaallah. Oke. Kemarin udah belajar descriptive text. Hari ini kita belajar apa ya? Bahasa Inggris. Yes, correct. Astra, bahasa Inggris. Oke. Bagus Astra. Okay, before I spoiler our lesson today, mari kita tonton dulu satu video pendek ini. So you guys pay attention, open your eyes, open your ears, alright? Di sini juga selipin subtitle-nya Pak Bijawan. Harus.
Smile and learn. Hello, friends. Today we're going to learn about the importance of promoting responsible consumption. Have you heard about it? Responsible consumption is about consuming products based on our real needs and choosing options that are beneficial for the environment and social equilibrium. Sometimes we buy or consume too many products, more than we actually need. Too many clothes, toys, electronic devices. Do you think we really need all of these? Could we try to make the best of what we have without buying these? Responsible consumption is based on the 3R principle: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Look at this shopping basket. We could reduce waste buying 2 big bottles of this drink instead of 6 small cans. We'd be buying the same product, generating less waste. We can reuse this glass jar to store some other foods. We could also reuse these sheets of paper for note-taking by writing on the blank side. The last step is to recycle. We can recycle material like plastic, glass, or cardboard. Did you know we can make a book by recycling meat cereal boxes? Consuming products we don't need are very harmful for our planet. That's why we should change some of our habits. These are some ideas. Plan your shopping and make a list of the things you need. This will help you to save money and keep you from buying products you don't need. Careful with food waste. Did you know that each household wastes 76 kilograms of food? To stop this, it is necessary to prepare or order only the food you'll actually eat. Like we said before, planning your grocery shopping is key to stop buying more than you need. To generate zero waste, avoid buying canned or packaged products. If possible, try to buy products packaged in containers that you can reuse and recycle. Visit traditional markets and buy local produce. The people who sell at these markets buy products locally. That's why they are more fresh and sustainable. Besides, there's no need to drive to your local market. You can walk there. This way you help to reduce contamination caused by transporting goods between the point of origin and the point of use. Try not to use plastic bags. Bring your own bags from home or use cloth bags. Did you know that 8 million tons of plastic end up in our seas and oceans every year? That's terrible news for the animals in our ecosystem. Make the best use of plastic clothes, shoes, or electronic devices, mobile phones, game consoles, etc. Following fashion trends or dressing in the latest fashion implies that we contaminate a lot more annually. We waste millions of gallons of water and we generate tons of residues. Have you ever heard of upcycling? To upcycle is to find creative ways to reuse waste or unwanted materials to make new objects. As you've seen, it is very easy to contribute to a lot more responsible consumption. You just have to consider this. Do I actually need all these things in my day-to-day life? How is the environment affected by everything we buy? Remember the 3R principle: reduce, reuse, and recycle. Consuming products we don't need may be very harmful for the environment. Easy habits and ideas like the one we told you about can help you to look after the planet. We're counting on you. Taking care of nature is in your hands.
Now, dari video barusan, from the video that I showed you guys before, what was the video trying to persuade you to do?
Save our planet.
Save our planet. Yeah, correct, Abel. Ada lagi nggak yang tahu?
Plastik.
Ya, to be responsible in our consumption ya. Tadi dari video itu udah masih ingat nggak 3 yang tadi apa? Siapa itu? Gazi. Oke.
Reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. Nah sekarang, oke, Gazi udah bilang nih reduce, reuse, recycle. Oke, Gazi udah ya, sip. Ini kalau mau jawab angkat tangan ya. Yang tahu tadi reduce tadi apa? Oke, you, please.
Reduce is when you reduce the use of the, mengurangi penggunaan, ya justru kayak mengurangi buat kayak if you have to choose between buying 6 cans or 2 bottles or a big bottle of drink, we could use we could buy the 2 bottle instead because the cans is you just to reduce and mengurangi to simplify gitu.
Yes, we reduce buat mengurangi. Ini intinya pokoknya kita reduce buat mengurangi sampah.
Iya, dari apa?
Jadi kita masih mending kita beli 2 botol besar tadi ya, daripada 6 kaleng soda atau minuman apa lah, nggak harus soda, karena banyak yang minuman lain. Reduce, terus reuse. Reuse tadi apa? Ayo geng, Fahri.
Reuse itu tuh kita tuh menggunakan kembali sebuah benda yang pasti kita buang gitu kan. Ya contohnya tuh kayak ya toples kaca. Jadi mungkin kita beli sebuah kue gitu, kue dari oleh-oleh gitu. Lalu setelah habis kita mungkin buang kan apa toples kaca. Tapi daripada kita buang, lebih baik kan kita menggunakannya untuk menyimpan hal-hal yang lain kan. Kita bisa jadi rempah-rempah. Nah, jadi itu maksud dari reuse itu adalah daripada kita membuang sebuah benda, daripada mending kita benda tersebut kita gunakan untuk hal yang lain mungkin yang berguna ke depannya.
Yes, correct. Oke, betul. Menggunakan kembali ya. Ya, kayak itu loh. Pasti di rumah kalian ada lah kayak toples, tango, akongguan. Nah, pasti buka-buka isinya nanti isinya tempat apa benang-benang jahit kan. Nah, itu salah satu bentuk reuse kan? Reuse. Apa lagi satu lagi tadi? Reduce and recycle. Ayo, oke, Abel, please.
Recycle is when some waste, trash waste, you can, if you have a waste, you can make it to something more valuable.
Jadi sampah, the waste gitu kan, we can turn it into more valuable things gitu ya. Jadi benda yang berguna kan. Ya. Kayak kemarin pas kalian pensi, ada nggak sih kayak bikin apa gitu? Ada ya? Recycle gitu. Ada. Kayaknya ada lah ya, ada aja lah ya. Kayaknya Mister. Oke, itu tidur reuse, recycle. Nah, jadi intinya di video itu di akhir dia bilang apa? Dia nyuruh kita apa? Responsible consumption gitu. Dia itu mengajak kita, persuade kita ya, membujuk save our planet. Because kalau bukan kita siapa lagi gitu kan, right? That's it. So dari video tersebut mungkin sedikit udah nampak ya kita bakal belajar apa. Ini sini keywordnya persuade. Here, hortatory exposition. Persuade with words. Hari ini kita bakal belajar hortatory exposition text. Nah, what are we going to learn today? Yang pertama itu, by the end of the lesson, students will be able to identify the purpose, structure, and language feature of hortatory exposition text. Jadi, di pertemuan kita kali ini, kita bakal belajar cara untuk mengidentifikasi dan struktur dari exposition text, terus juga purpose is tujuan atau kegunaannya, and then language feature of hortatory exposition text. Terus juga kita bakal belajar nanti analyze a simple hortatory text. Dan nanti kita Mister bagi dan nanti dalam 6 grup ya. Grup yang kemarin kita masih ingat kan grup yang kemarin kita di poster. Nah, nanti grupnya gitu lagi. Okay, what is hortatory exposition text for? Let's talk about purpose ya pertama. Hortatory exposition text aim to persuade. Nah, lagi-lagi kita dengar nih ya, persuade. Apa tadi persuade? Mengajak, membujuk, apa lagi ya? Mempengaruhi, yes. Apa? Abel mau?
Mau bilang itu.
Nah, kayak tadi itu kan kayak campaign gitu. Campaign anti narkoba atau kayaknya contohnya encourage people to recycle, persuade students to study regularly, convincing others to adopt a healthy lifestyle. Nah itu kan kayak campaign buat mengajak kan, you should do this, you have to do this, that's it, that's hortatory text. Jadi hortatory exposition text aim to persuade readers, pembaca atau listener, pendengar untuk setuju. Jadi kita kalau bikin hortatory text, kita tuh membujuk mereka sebagaimana sebagaimana mungkin agar mereka setuju sama kita. Kita lagi bujuk teman lagi tuh, ayolah ikut ini, ayolah kita gini, gitulah, that's it, that persuade. Menghasut, nah itu lebih kita bahas lebih sering dipakai kan, menghasut. With the writer point of view and authorization. Nah, ini 3 contohnya ya. What is the structure of hortatory exposition text? Nah, ini this is related to you guys final examination juga nanti ya. Jadi kalian harus tahu apa sih bentuk-bentuk dari hortatory text itu sendiri. Yang pertama itu ada thesis. Thesis, the opening statement that introduce the topic and the writer's opinion. Jadi tesis ini bisa dibilang kayak introduction, memperkenalkan. Jadi sebelum kita tadi topik videonya tadi apa? Responsible consumption. Nah, Jadi dia pasti membuka dulu kan responsif apa sih yang dimaksud dengan responsible consumption itu. Nah, tadi kan dia bilang itu ada 3 R kan, 3 R. That's it. Dia memperkenalkan dulu topiknya, baru nanti dia jelaskan lagi maksud 3 R itu apa. Di argumennya. Jadi to break attention and make the writer position clear. Jadi kita tuh udah kita buka nih, udah kita kenalin, kan jadi orang tahu gitu. Oh, teks ini bakal ngomongin ini nih. Oh, teks ini bakal ngomongin A. Udah tahu orang kan. Jadi orang udah, mungkin orang bakal menerka-nerka, bakal ngomongin apa gitu kan. Cuma ya, we continue to the next part. Contohnya nih, example ya. Plastic bags are harmful to the environment and should be banned. Nah, ini tesis namanya. Karena dia udah bilang nih, plastic bags are harmful to the environment and should be banned. Oke, dari kenalin nih. Masuk kita ke argumen nanti ke why. Kenapa sih plastic bags itu harus di-ban gitu. Di sini kita jelaskan. Argument nanti reason and evidence to support the writer's position. Jadi dia tuh alasan dan bukti-bukti untuk mensupport, untuk mendukung point of view dari writer itu sendiri. We call it arguments. Jadi to persuade the reader with logical and emotional effort. Lagi-lagi kita pakai persuade. Jadi hortator ini memang identik dengan persuade. Jadi that's why we also call it persuasive text. Here ada dua argumen. Yang pertama, plastic bag take hundreds of years to decompose, polluting the environment for generation. Nah, plastic bag butuh waktu bertahun-tahun buat decompose, buat terurai ya. Jadi dia juga memberi polusi kepada environment, lingkungan kita juga. Nah, itu argumen pertama. Nah, argumen kedua, they often harm marine animal that mistake them for food. Karena ada belakangan ini ada nampak foto itu enggak? Foto penyu yang nyangkut gitu. Ya, that's it. That's why plastic bags should be banned juga. Semua sampah plastik itu. Karena mereka harmful for the animal di marine, di laut gitu. Yang mengira kalau sampah-sampah itu tuh adalah makanan gitu. Dan mereka nggak tahu kan? Mana mereka tahu kalau plastik itu ternyata nggak bisa dimakan kan? Nah, yang terakhir, recommendation. Definitionnya, write a suggestion or call to action. Nah, jadi sebenarnya exposition textnya ada dua. Yang pertama itu analytical, yang kedua hortatory. Nah, kalau yang analytical, dia tuh kita membahas apa ya? Dia tuh ada argumennya juga. Cuma bedanya sama hortatory ini dia ada recommendation di akhir. Jadi dia tuh analytical tuh dia nggak mempersuade, tapi dia mengconclusion, dia mengulang kembali semua yang telah dia bahas di paragraf sebelumnya. Sedangkan hortatory dia bakal ngasih rekomendasi. Oke, nanti pokoknya dia ngomong plastic bag should be banned gitu kan di tesis. Nanti ada argumen. Nanti di akhir dia bilang makanya plastik itu harus di-ban karena dan kita sebagai manusia gini sebagai students kita harus gini recommendation gitu. Dia nggak mengulang kembali, dia mengulang kembali dikit tapi dia ngasih recommendation habis itu. Karena kalau analytical nggak, dia cuma menyimpulkan teks semua argumen dia, semua argumen penulisannya. Iya sudah. Government should ban the use of plastic bag and will promote eco-friendly alternatives like reusable bags. Nah, kita bahaskan reusable bags. Jadi pemerintah harusnya ban use of plastic bag dan lebih memperkenalkan lagi eco-friendly alternative like reusable bag atau tas yang bisa digunakan kembali. Itu kayak yang kalian pakai belakangan ini apalah kayak tote bag gitu kan, atau ya bawa tas biasa. Kayaknya yang paling common itu tote bag lah kan, bagi cewek-cewek kan, buat tote bag kemana-mana. Nah, bawa charger, bawa tablet, gitu kan, right?
Right. Absolutely.
What are the language features of hortatory text? Pertama itu pastinya simple present tense. Kayaknya Mister kalau simple present tense ini nggak perlu dijelasin lagi lah ya artinya apa. Sudah tahu ya. Yaitu kejadian masa sekarang yang kita state fact. Kita state used to describe general facts, truths, or habitual action. In hortatory expression text, it is often used to express universal truths or general statement. Jadi di hortatory text, simple present tense biasanya digunakan untuk fakta-fakta yang universal atau general. To state fact and give clear alternative opinion that support the right argument. Ini contohnya, plastic is harmful to the environment. Itu simple present tense that it affect, right? Karena dan general. Anda tahu kalau plastic is harmful, Anda tahu ada banyak bukti, ada banyak evidence. Reusable bags help reduce pollution. Betul nggak? Tas yang reusable nya apa ya kalau di Indonesia kan? Kembali lah ya. Tas yang dipakai kembali mengurangi polusi, membantu mengurangi polusi. Nah kan? Terus modality, modal verbs. Sini modal verbs express necessity atau possibility atau obligation. Kayak pakai should, must, ought to, have to, masih ada lagi modal verbs. To show the strength of the writer opinion. Jadi dia itu memperkuat. Jadi kita makin meyakinkan pembaca. You should, blah 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 blah. You must, blah 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 blah. And ini contohnya, we must act now to protect the environment. We should all reduce plastic use to help prevent pollution. Jadi kita harus mengurangi penggunaan plastik untuk mencegah polusi. Ya, prefer mencegah, right?
Yes.
Ecological connectors. Nah ini tuh biasanya juga kita sebutnya kayak transition words. Karena di sini biasanya dia tuh di awal paragraf. Kayak ini ordering. Yang pertama ordering. Pasti kalian familiar kan waktu nulis mungkin kalian udah pernah nulis essay belum? Belum ya? Udah?
Pernah pas.
Oh pernah ya?
Ya.
Nah itu ada kan firstly. Nah ini biasanya di argumen. Secondly, thirdly, finally, ada next, ada then. Itu ordering, yang ordering ya. To show the sequence atau order itu of point or steps in argument. Nih, firstly, breakfast provides energy. Secondly, it helps with metabolism. Finally, it improves mental health. Itu versi pendeknya ya. Itu versi pendeknya. Kalau kita tulis kata teks nggak sependek. Itu lebih panjang lagi sih. Kalau nanti kita tulis ya, oke? Kontras. Kita kalau mau membicarakan dua hal yang berlawanan, kontras. We use however, on the other hand, but. Nah, to show a difference between two ideas. Plastic bags are cheap. Plastik apa? Tas plastik itu murah. Tapi apa? They are harmful to nature. Jadi itu dua ide yang berbeda kan disatukan. Addition. In addition, moreover, furthermore. Di sini untuk menambah, untuk memperkaya informasi lagi, untuk mensupport argumen sebelumnya. Plastic bags are non-biodegradable. Moreover, they endanger marine life. Ini kan comparison. Ini bukan ini ya, bukan comparison degree lain. So similarly, likewise, dan just as. To show similarity or a parallel between two ideas. Jadi kalau tadi yang kontras dia menunjukkan perbedaan, kalau sekarang dia menunjukkan kesamaan. Reusable bags are more eco-friendly. Likewise, they are more durable. Jadi sama-sama mensupport dua idenya sama-sama mendukung satu sama lain. Now, kita udah jelasin nih tadi language feature, terus general structure, kita juga udah dengar video tadi. Sekarang Mister bakal bagi lagi. Mister mau kalian langsung duduk bersama kelompoknya. Kemarin 6 kelompok kan? Iya 6 kelompok, right? Berarti kemudiannya gini aja, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gitu. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gitu. Karena kita bakal bahas 3 teks. Jadi bisa kasih ke kelompoknya. Boleh duduk bersama kelompoknya masing-masing ya. Oke, now. Terima kasih.
dong. Iya.
Masih ada pokoknya. 1, 2, 3. Sini 1 ya.
Kan ini.
Oh iya.
Ya. Pokoknya dua kali sini, depan 1, tengah 2, kali belakang 3.
Sini yang 4 ya. Grupnya bisa kirim ke Fahri. Fahri kan bagi cowoknya yang
Iya. Iya.
ini udah kamu
Siapa yang ketiga?
Ini yang 4 grup chat nih. Kalian kenapa lagi?
Di mana ya? Kita sini ya.
Iya. Here.
3 ya? 3. Ini 1, 2.
Udah kasih.
Come on. Sini apa lagi? Lupa kelompoknya. Itu bisa kirim ke Fahri kelompoknya. Fahri itu Fahri siapa? Bukan Fahri Fajri.
Kita kasih meja. Ya kita harusnya kita juga kan. Kita 2 menit sebelumnya. Oh, gabung. Kita satu tim berapa orang?
Satu tim
Ini ada.
kelompok 6 orang kalau nggak salah, atau 5.
Nah, di sini. Nah, sini kok kita.
Ini aja kayak mana yang Oke udah ya. Udah sama kelompok ya semua ya. Oke. All set. Now. Ini Mister kasih ada 3 teks. Buat kelompok ini grup 1 kan? 1. Grup 2 yang mana? Grup 2. Samping-sampingan ya ini. Nah, teks sekarang beda kok aman. 3. Grup 4 itu ya? Oke, semuanya udah dapat teksnya kan? Jadi bagi pay attention please. Oke, itu bisa kasih itu simple ya. Karena kita bisa bilang jadi kita analyze simple vocabulary text ya. Jadi kita pakai teks yang cukup simple lah. Simple kan itu kan? Aman ya. Nah, jadi tugas kalian adalah here. What is the main idea of the text? Analyze the general structure of the text. Analyze the language pattern of the text. Jadi kalian boleh tulis di kertas lembar, tulis nama grupnya, tulis nama kelompoknya. Bawa tulis ini ya, main idenya. Main idenya nih, Mister mau dalam bentuk summary gitu ya, short summary. Oke? Jangan cuma kayak ngulang lagi tadi statementnya, no. But make the short summary for the main idea. Jadi kalian bisa belajar juga buat summary-nya.
Buat summary juga.
Boleh. Kertasnya boleh kalau coret-coret mau nandain apa gitu. Boleh. Yang penting tugasnya dikumpul di kertas lembar.
Semua itu terjadi dengan idea itu yang iya disurat.
Itu kan buat memperkenalkan materi kita aja. Itu kan sama juga materinya. Maksudnya. Oke, tadi masih strukturnya apa? Nanti Mister mau tunggu, Mister nengok waktu dulu ya. Mister kasih waktu sekarang jam 10.57. Kita sampai jam berapa? Halo, kita sampai jam berapa? 12.30 ya? Oke, Mister kasih waktu 20 menit cukup? Enggak? 30 lah ya? Mister kasih waktu 30 menit. Lama kan 30 menit? Rame-rame itu kan, rame-rame berbagi pikiran. Masa lama? 20 ya? 20 menit. Nah, 20 menit kita kasih waktu 20 menit. Habis itu nanti Mister mau kalian mempresentasikan. You guys share your idea with our video class habis tulis ya nanti. Jadi ini kertasnya boleh bercerita boleh nggak apa-apa. Tapi Mister walaupun di share nanti sama satu kelas, Mister tidak mau ngasih mungkin ya di kertas gambar. Oke, udah ya? Udah siap ya semuanya? Beranya udah? Not yet. Apa yang not yet?
Beda-beda. Different.
Oke.
Karena kan kami nanya lah,
Sorry, tadi kan nanya sesuatu. Tadi misalnya ini apa?
Start. Dibandingkan.
Oke ya, jadinya 30 menit juga nih ya. Ya, kita mulai ya lagi. Hello. So, okay, everyone pay attention. Stop with your phone. Gak ada yang main HP lagi. Kita bakal mulai. Jadi kalau kawannya presentasi, everybody pay attention. Especially buat grup yang teksnya sama ya. Karena kita teksnya cuma 3. Jadi teksnya 3 nih. Jadi kami ada banyak yang sama nih. Kita pakai sadari. Dan Mister bisa-bisain ke depan. Biar nggak kerja sama. Karena ya jeng. Situ aja nggak apa-apa. Tapi berdiri. Oke, start.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kami dari kelompok namakan mempresentasikan hasil diskusi kami tentang teks the importance of breakfast.
The importance of breakfast ya. Okay, come on, Leo. Yeah, in English. Boleh in English. Mister expectnya in English. Tapi kalau kalian lupa bahasanya, kalian boleh campur aku.
Okay, so the main idea of the text is what we found is breakfast is the most important meal of the day because breakfast provides the energy and nutrients needed to start the day, helps maintain a healthy metabolism, and has a positive impact on mental health.
The general structure of the text is paragraph 1, arguments paragraph 2, 3, and 4, and recommendation is paragraph 5.
Bacalah itunya. Dia di paragraf itu apa? Yang mana dia?
Tesis in paragraph 1.
Iya, itu tesisnya yang mana? Ayo.
Jadi paragraf pertama itu breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet both especially students and busy adults skip it. Skipping breakfast can lead to various physical, mental, and academic problems, making it essential for everyone to prioritize this meal. The next is argument in paragraph 2, 3, and 4.
Di paragraph 2 yang mana argumennya?
Firstly, breakfast provides the energy and nutrients needed to start the day. Itu di paragraf 2. Paragraf ketiga, secondly, breakfast help maintain a healthy metabolism. Next, in paragraph 4, finally, breakfast has a positive impact on mental health. Yeah. And last recommendation in paragraph 5.
Gimana tuh recommendation?
Parents should also encourage children to eat breakfast daily to promote better health and academic success.
Oke, udah udah semua tuh. Apa lagi yang speaker? Yang kita jumpain. Everybody pay attention ya, bro. Biar tahu nanti apa kurangnya di buat 16 resitnya.
Simple presidents, breakfast helps maintain Simple presidents, breakfast helps maintain
Ini paragraf berapa? Paragraph 3, oke.
Everyone should eat breakfast at lunch.
Everyone, sure.
Paragraph 5.
Paragraph 5.
One ordering facilities satunya and kalian.
Ya, or. Oh, paragraph 10, oke. You don't find any of it, okay, okay. More likely what? They feel anxious for the fourth. Okay. That's all?
That's all from us. Thank you for all your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ini saya mau bahas langsung, cuma bisa baru ingat waktu ini juga apa, jadi bisa tunggu penyegaran dulu ya, baru kita bahas. Next, who is the lucky group? Which one is the lucky group? No. Louder ya please. Jadi teman-teman yang dengar, jadi kalian bukan cuma bisa, tapi kalian harus kasih sama kawan-kawannya juga. Kan? Kayaknya banyak banyak kalian harus lebih. Iya.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. So we're today gonna present our reading discussion about reading books every day. Context is reading books every day. Is the reason why we must read books every day.
Just that. The reason why?
The reason why we must read books every day.
Just that. No, I mean like, did you not tell you guys it was like a short summary? Oh, you did it. Okay. Please read it.
So, the generic structure for the thesis is on the first paragraph, and then the argument is.
Could you please read the thesis? Thesisnya kan?
Reading books every day is a beneficial habit that enhances knowledge, sharpens the mind, and improves overall well-being. Then the argument is on the second to fourth paragraph. Firstly, reading enriches your knowledge and vocabulary. Secondly, reading supports mental health and reduce stress. And then thirdly, reading books stimulates critical thinking and creativity.
Okay.
And then the argument is on the fifth paragraph. Therefore, it is important to make reading a daily habit.
Or it's important to make. Are you sure that?
No. School and library should promote reading programs and organize books to encourage this process.
Yes, schools and libraries should promote reading programs and organize book clubs to encourage this practice. That's the recommendation. No?
Next is analyze the language features of the text. So the first one is simple present. We call simple present in paragraph 1 is reading books every day is a beneficial habit that enhances knowledge, sharpens the mind, and overall well-being. So first, the simple present is the knowledge, chance, sharpens. Yeah, that was just the simple present. Sebenarnya banyak sih sir.
Saya banyak. Memang mostly kita use simple present.
Yeah. So
You need to mention
okay.
someone.
So for the last one is no.
Why? Why don't you read it?
It's kind of
Next to the logical connectors. First, contrast. There is, unfortunately, in the paragraph 1, unfortunately, in today's digital era. Second, ordering. There are firstly, secondly, thirdly. Next, addition. There are also therefore. Next, model C. Should.
Which one is must go?
In the last paragraph.
Oh, and the recommendation. School and library should promote this one. That one. Only one? How about like okay, that's all. Lagi.
Okay. I will summarize the text for you guys. So, reading book every day is a beneficial habit because, firstly, reading enriches your knowledge and vocabulary. By reading books on various topics, you can learn about different cultures, historical events, and scientific discoveries. Secondly, reading supports mental health and reduces stress. Immersing yourself in a good book allows you to escape from daily pressures and enter a world of imagination. Thirdly, reading books stimulates critical thinking and creativity. So, it's important to make reading a daily habit. Also, schools and libraries should promote reading programs to encourage this practice. Okay, that's all.
That's all from us. So thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Group 1. Group 1, please. Okay, look at your friend.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Today,
Yes.
good. We're going to present our discussion about exactly the same with group 6, yaitu the importance of breakfast. Firstly, the main idea of the importance of this text is about the importance of breakfast to provide the energy and nutrients, healthy metabolism, and mental health.
Next, we go to the generic structure. First is thesis. Thesis in paragraph 1 is breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Yet many people, especially students and busy adults, skip it. Skipping breakfast can lead to various physical, mental, and academic problems, making it essential for everyone to prioritize this topic. The next structure is arguments. Arguments is in the second paragraph. Firstly, breakfast provides the energy and nutrients needed to start the day. Then, the third paragraph. Secondly, breakfast helps maintain a healthy metabolism. And the last one is in the fourth paragraph. Breakfast has a positive impact on metabolism.
Next, the recommendation is in fifth paragraph. The recommendation is therefore everyone should make breakfast as a priority regardless of their busy schedule. And parents should also encourage children to eat breakfast daily to promote better health and physical.
Next is the language features. The first, in the simple present tense, in the paragraph 1, that is, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many people, especially students and university adults, skip it. Lalu, in the paragraph 2, breakfast is firstly, breakfast provides the energy and nutrient needed to start the day. In the third paragraph, secondly, breakfast help maintain healthy and metabolism. For the modality, is skipping breakfast can lead to various physical, mental, and academic problems, making it essential for everyone to prioritize this meal. And the last paragraph is the therefore everyone should make breakfast a priority regardless of their basic schedule. The ordering is the firstly in the first part, in the second paragraph, secondly in third paragraph, and finally in fourth paragraph. For the contrast, in the first sentence in the first paragraph, the breakfast is the most important meal of the day, yet many people, especially students and university adults, skip it. And the addition in that is therefore in the last paragraph. Lalu this comparison no one in the text.
You find no myself.
That is thank you for your attention. Dan Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Oh my God. Waktu kita cukup ini ya. Kita ini cepat aja ya. Karena kita masih sedikit dan kita masih ada sedikit lagi. Group 3 now, please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
So guys, today we want to explain the result of our discussion about vocabulary text with the title Reading Books Every Day. So the main idea of the text is reading books every day has many benefits such as enrich your knowledge and vocabulary, support mental health and reduce stress, stimulates critical thinking and creativity.
The next is generic structure. First is thesis that contain the opinion that's want the author to convey. Starting from paragraph 1, from reading books to creativity.
Second is argument. This argument that support the author's opinion, like first saying and enriches your knowledge and vocabulary. Thirdly, reading books stimulates critical thinking and creativity. From paragraph 2 to paragraph 5.
The last is recommendation. That's suggestion from the author. Start from paragraph 5, from therefore to and so.
Therefore to mind and soul. Soul or soul? Soul. Okay.
The first example is particularly unlike benefits for your brain and soul. And reading books every day is a beneficial habit that you can knowledge. Second is modality. So, for example, if schools ever recommend reading programs and organize books to encourage practice. And the third is logical connector. For the order is firstly, secondly, and continuously. The next one is contrast. Like the example, unlike passive activities like watching TV and addition, like therefore, is it important to make reading a daily habit? And then comparison, like unfortunately. That's all.
That's all from discussion. Thank you for your attention. See you next time. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good. Satu lagi ya. Yeah. Group 5. Where's group 5? Here. Right here. Come on, group 5, stand up. Hey, cepet. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
our discussion about the text, the title, Say No to Plastic Bags.
The main idea of the text is the reason why we should ban plastic bags to protect our environment.
The next is generic structure. The first chapter is stasis in paragraph 1. Plastic bags are not biodegradable and take hundreds of years to release harmful chemicals into the environment. The next argument in the paragraph 3. Plastic bags are a severe threat to wildlife. And the last argument in the paragraph 5, clearly result accumulate in large quantities, destroying natural habitats. Reusable bags can significantly reduce this problem. And the last chapter is recommendation in paragraph 5. Should enforce bans or impose heavy tax on plastic bags.
The next is language holders. The first one is simple present tense. For example, in paragraph 1, plastic bags are one of the leading causes of environmental pollution and must be banned. And in the second paragraph, plastic bags are non-biodegradable and take hundreds of years to compost. And the third is in the third paragraph. Plastic bags are a severe threat to wildlife. And the last in the fourth paragraph. Plastic bags are rarely recycled due to the high cost and difficult of the process.
The next language features is the logical connectors. The first logical connector we found is the ordering. You can see that in the second paragraph, the firstly, plastic bags are non-biodegradable and take hundreds of years to decompose. And in the second paragraph, there is the similarly, plastic bags are the seventh threat to wildlife. And in the fourth paragraph, you can see again, next, plastic bags are rarely recycled due to the high cost and difficulty of the process. The psychological connectors is addition. It's in the paragraph 2. It's not only pollutes the water but also releases harmful chemicals into the environment. Next is in the paragraph 3. Words are often entangled in plastic waste and able to move or fit. And third logical connectors we found is that the contrast. It's in the fourth paragraph. Instead, they accumulate in large quantities, contributing to toxic waste and destroying natural habitats. And our summary about the fact is plastic bags cause many harms to our environment because they are non-biodegradable and release harmful chemicals. They endanger the wildlife and natural habitats. That's why we should use eco-friendly alternatives like clothes or paper bags to save our environment.
Okay. I think that's all from us. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Masih bentar ya?
Ya ini dia
Masih ada satu dua.
Apa ya kira-kira?
Kira-kira. Wah,
We are from group number 2. We will present to you all about our discussion result about text say no to plastic bag. First of all, the main idea. The main idea of this text is the pollution caused by plastic bag and why it should be banned. The second one is the structure. The thesis is on the paragraph 1. Plastic bags are one of the leading cause of environmental pollution and must be banned. These bags often used for only a few minutes cause irreversible damage to ecosystem and wildlife, making action necessary. The argumentation is on paragraph 2 until paragraph 4. Paragraph 2 is firstly, plastic bags are non-biodegradable and take hundreds of years to decompose. Most of them end up in landfill or the ocean, creating a massive waste pile and marine debris. For example, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, a collection of floating plastic waste, is primarily composed of single-use plastic like bags. This not only pollutes the water, but also releases harmful chemicals into the environment. Paragraph 3. Similarly, plastic bags are a severe threat to wildlife. Animals, particularly marine creatures, often mistake plastic bags for food. Sea turtles frequently consume plastic bags mistaking them for jellyfish, which can block their digestive system and lead to death. Birds too are often found entangled in plastic bags, unable to move or feed properly. And the fourth paragraph is next. Plastic bags are rarely recycled due to the high cost and difficulty of the process. Instead, they accumulate in a large quantity, contributing to toxic waste and destroying natural habitat. In contrast, reusable bags made from plastic or biodegradable material are more sustainable and can significantly reduce this problem. And the last feature is the recommendation is on paragraph 5. To address this issue, government should enforce ban or impose a heavy tax on plastic bags. Retailer and consumer must also take responsibility by switching to eco-friendly alternatives like cloth or paper bags. Educational campaigns should be conducted to raise awareness about the harmful effect of the plastic on the environment. Together, we can reduce plastic waste and protect our planet for future generations.
Summary of the text. Plastic bags is one of the main causes of environmental degradation, and it needs to be banned immediately due to its irreversible impact on the ecosystem and wildlife. Plastic is not biodegradable and takes hundreds of years to degrade, causing environmental pollution and threatening marine life that often mistake plastic for food. Now, the main features. Let's talk about the simple present tense. First, plastic bags are one of the leading causes of environmental pollution and must be banned. That's on paragraph 1. And what is called a simple present tense? The first of all is because of its verb, use are, that is present tense. And it also has fact on it. And the second one, most of them end up in landfill or the ocean, creating massive waste, spills, and marine debris. It's same. It's on most of them. On paragraph 2. Paragraph 2 is the reason same as example number 1. Now, next to modality, that is default, should, must, should be. It could be found on paragraph 5 because the should giving suggestion such as government should enforce ban or enforce secret taxes or plastic tax. And next one, must is like friends like should. Retailers and consumers must also take responsibility by switching to eco-friendly alternatives such as cloth or paper bags. Now let's go to ordering. That is firstly and next. Comparison, similarly and like. And the last one addition is for example. That's for menjabarkan hidup. And contrast, like instead and in contrast. So,
That's all from us. We close the presentation with Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, all groups have do their presentation really great ya. Sekarang kita fokus buat semuanya. Nah kita udah di penghujung ini ya. Apa? Penghujung acara. No, penghujung sesi. At the end of our session today. But sebelum kita tutup, baik kita mengulang kembali. Kita ulang kembali karena dengan mengulang-ulang kita bisa jadi lebih ingat apa sih yang telah kita pelajari hari ini. Nah, now, what have we learned today? Please, any volunteer? Dengan bahasa sendiri aja, boleh bahasa Indonesia pun boleh. Siapa pun. Oke, Farid, please. Stand up.
What we have learned untuk simpulannya, kita belajar tentang nama itu habitualitas. Habitualitas ini dia tuh mempunyai sifat, yaitu membujuk para pembacanya untuk setuju dengan opini sang penulis. Bedanya habitualitas dengan analytical text. Analytical text itu pada bagian terakhir itu dia mempunyai conclusion atau kesimpulan, sementara habitual text itu dia recommendation atau dia merekomendasikan kepada pembacanya itu untuk melakukan apa yang diinginkan oleh sang penulis. Selanjutnya pada strukturnya itu ada tiga. Yang pertama itu tesis, yaitu tuh ya pengenalan. Dia mengisi tentang maksud sang penulis itu apa ini menulis dari tesis ini. Jadi tema besarnya tesis. Maksudnya yang second one argumen. Nah, pada argumen ini itu berisi fakta-fakta. Jadi ini fakta ini fungsinya itu untuk mendukung opini sang penulis. Jadi agar tidak terkesan itu kayak penulis ini membuat teks ini sembarangan. Dia ada faktanya. Lalu yang ketiga itu recommendation. Nah, recommendation ini isinya tuh berupa tentang rujukan kepada pembaca untuk melakukan apa atau hal yang diinginkan oleh sang penulis. Contohnya tadi responsible consumption gitu kan. Nah, artinya apa itu? Kita menggunakan barang itu dengan tanggung jawab kan. Tidak boleh berlebihan. Kita harus menciptakan kebiasaan yang bagus untuk lingkungan gitu. Jadi contohnya dari itu tidak menggunakan barang-barang yang tidak kita perlukan. Lalu lepas itu kita juga belajar tadi yang namanya tuh struktur kebahasaannya. Ya, struktur bahasanya itu ada tiga secara garis besarnya. Yang pertama ada simple present, lepas itu modality dan logical connection. Nah, pada logical connection ini terbagi lagi menjadi empat, yaitu ordering, contrast, addition, dan comparison.
Oke. Mister nggak perlu lagi sih menyimpulkan karena udah disimpulkan sama Pak Ri dengan sesimpel mungkin, sebagus mungkin. Ini ya, singkatnya. Ini yang kita baca tadi ya. Dari question text. Nih, keyword ya, keyword persuade. Diulang-ulang. Put this in your brain, in your head. Kalau hortatory, it's identical with persuade. Memang dia tuh udah ada should, you must, you ought to, you have to, dan bujuk-bujuk kita nih. Berarti dia tuh hortatory. Nah, kalau nanti keluar kan pas ujian soalnya, teksnya, kan nanti tes kalian berbasis reading kan, bisa berbasis literasi. Persuade reader, take action or agree with the point of view. Nanti ada kayak kan ada 3 jenis kan, benar salah, tidak ganda, sama menjelaskan. Dan nanti kalau menjelaskannya itu selalu menjelaskan yang mana tesis, yang mana argumen, yang mana recommendation, kan? The key language feature ini, jadi example connector dan simple preterals. Oke. Nah, udah di slide thank you nih ya. Kita udah di belum. Sabar. Oke. I think that's all for video today ya. Sekali lagi Mr. thank you buat kalian udah membantu buat conclude to summarize ya materi kita hari ini. I hope this hortatory text is understandable ya. Karena udah mungkin kalian udah sedikit familiar kan dengan hortatory kan di bahasa Inggris. Minat kan? Ya, cuma kali ini cuma mengulang-ulang kembali. Dan teks itu, teks itu bukan cuma sekedar hortatory text. It is pembelajaran. The information is useful for us. Jadi bukan sekedar cuma kalian menganalisis nih kan, dia nyuruh kita gini, dia nyuruh kita gitu, tapi kita cuma menganalisis, tapi kita nggak menjalankan. Jadi 3 teks itu Mister sengaja pilih karena it's familiar, it's a common thing that happen in our life, but especially for students like us kan. Nah, kayak breakfast, pasti kalian banyak beberapa yang skip breakfast, and I think Mister juga sering skip breakfast, and it's not good kan. Dan di situ juga dikasih tahu kan kenapa kita nggak boleh skip kan. Terus kita tadi apa yang kedua? Plastic bag should be banned ya. Nah, terus topik ketiga? Reading books every day. Nah, ini student sekali ini topik kan. Sini emang ada yang nggak suka baca buku? Oh, suka semua ya berarti nih ya. Alhamdulillah. Oke. I think that's all from me today. Thank you very much for your attention. Kita tutup dengan baca hamdalah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Amin. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.